Episode 171. Courage, is it? Qiao Yifan sat silently before his computer, watching the next teammate charge forward to face Lord Grimm. The two combatants were on the verge of clashing. There was no time for formalities. Around him, teammates stood in small groups, watching the match and chatting. Qiao Yifan glanced beside him, but Zhao Yingji wasn't in his seat. He glanced the other way and saw Zhao Yingji had been called over by the captain, who seemed to be saying something to him.
Lucky him. They get punctures from top players like their captain. All the time.
Qiao Yifan thought to himself.
Suddenly, his nose began to sting with a hint of soreness.
He and Zhao Yingji joined the team at the same time, around the same age. One received the care and affection of the seniors, while the other was left to carry bags and fetch water for the seniors. Ha! A phantom demon. Qiao Yifan couldn't help but recall the guidance from the legendary Ye Qiyu in the game, and the encouragement he'd received just before logging off. Maybe I really do need a little more courage. But courage isn't something you can just summon on command. Qiao Yifan turned it over in his mind, but fear still held him back. Might as well give it a little try first. In the end, he settled on a plan. He wouldn't completely abandon the assassin he'd been playing. But starting to learn the Phantom Ghost now, maybe things really could be different. But just the thought of it filled Qiao Yifan with immediate excitement. Ha!
Yifan, what's so funny?
Meanwhile, Zhao Yingji had returned to his seat. The moment I arrived, I saw my friend sitting there with a silly grin, his gaze unfocused. He didn't even seem to be watching the match.
Oh, it's nothing.
Qiao Yifan hurriedly wiped the smile from his face. That night, Team Tiny Herb's record saw no improvement, suffering a clean sweep of defeats. This time, however, their captain Wang Jiexi did not step into the fray. But after yesterday's draw between the two, no one doubted the captain was afraid of losing or anything. In short, their captain always had a way of surprising them. Like this time, suddenly dragging everyone into the online game for a training camp. The members of Team Tiny Herb had long grown accustomed to their captain's unpredictable ways. They followed orders without question.
How'd it go today?
At the happy internet cafe, Ye Xiu, having just wrapped up the night's gauntlet of matches, went to check on Tang Ru. Their fortunes were complete opposites. One had won every match, the other had lost them all. They were a perfect pair of antonyms. A bit better than yesterday. Impressive, Ye Qiu offered a verbal compliment.
But today, their team's Blazing Inferno invited me for some kind of trial.
Oh.
Ye Xiu didn't seem particularly surprised.
He's got a good eye. You really do have a lot of potential to tap into. Hey, did you say yes?
No, I never thought about becoming a pro player.
Then whatever you do, don't tell the boss lady. She'd strangle you for sure.
Tang Ru thought for a moment, then nodded seriously.
Yeah, you're right.
Then we'll continue the dungeon round tonight. Of course, see you at midnight.
Yeah.
With that, they both took their positions. 11 Labs of voice Daada for the Yisio was already preparing to take over the front desk shift. Tang Ru returned to her original spot and continued. Once the clock struck 11, the internet cafe instantly transformed. The clamor of the evening rush had passed, leaving a much quieter atmosphere in its wake. Ye Qiu sat down at the front desk and logged into Lord Grimm, when suddenly he received a message from Cold Mist.
Is the Pro League really that fun? It's really fun. It's pretty fun.
Zenland the Pro League is just like that. But for someone with your personality, you'd actually make a great pro player. You love a challenge, don't you?
And you, why didn't you go pro?
I've already played professionally. Now I'm just tired and taking a break.
Lier.
Tang Ru isn't stupid. What kind of rest involves pulling an all-night shift as a net cafe attendant?
Anyway, I'll be going back.
When?
That's hard to say.
Tang Ru said nothing more. The two of them played their games in silence. At midnight, the dungeon attempts reset. We ran the team dungeon as usual. The next day continued in the same vein, but Team Tiny Herb suffered an even more crushing defeat at Ye Xiu's hands. They couldn't possibly make some exaggerated leap in progress in just 2 or 3 days. But after 2 days of farming materials, Ye Xiu's Myriad Manifestations umbrella underwent another comprehensive upgrade, solidly reaching level 25. This time, he was clearly far more efficient than when chasing dungeon records. The best part, it was repeatable. A dungeon record is a one-and-done deal. While Poplar was still scrambling to gather the materials from the first list, a second list had already been delivered. When Qi Quyangji saw it, he nearly spat blood. The materials requested this time are primarily items from level 30 to 35. Right now, the elite teams of the 3 major guilds are barely over level 30, just starting to challenge the dungeons and leveling zones in this bracket. Where are they supposed to get so many materials with this kind of consumption rate? Not even Herb Garden could manage it. If you bundled together every guild in server 10, it still might not be enough. Most players were still around level 25. Lord Grimm's level 28 was only slightly behind the elite accounts of the major guilds, who were racing for the top of the rankings. Compared to ordinary players, how could Ye Xiu and Tang Ru, people who never rested except to eat and sleep, ever fall behind? They were already the most insane players possible, running a single character each. Wang Jiexi wasn't flustered by the lack of materials. As pro players, winning and losing was their job. After a loss, you couldn't just bury your head and keep swinging. They needed to analyze the technical reasons for their losses. So, on the nights when there were no materials left to lose, Team Tiny Herb's evening training sessions shifted to a collective analysis of the battle recordings they'd accumulated over those days. Ye Xiu, of course, paid no mind to any of this. If no one came looking, he'd just keep practicing. A few days later, their levels finally broke into the 30s. During this time, the 22nd round of glory was held as scheduled. Team Jiaxi finally got the long-awaited, decisive victory they'd been hoping for. They finished the round with a beautiful 9-1 score. In contrast, Team Tiny Herb delivered a minor upset this round. Facing a mid-tier team from the league, they only managed to secure 3 points in the end. Team Tiny Herb was in a collective slump this round. At the post-match press conference, Captain Wang Jiexi revealed to the media that Team Tiny Herb is currently undergoing a secret, intensive training regimen which has affected the players' form. However, given Team Tiny Herb's current dominant position, Wang Jiexi believes this minor setback is completely worth it. Tiny Herb has only one goal, the championship title. Their regular season record isn't their top priority. That statement reeks of PR spin, especially regarding that secret training. No one knows if it's true or not. And the regular season record isn't as insignificant as Wang Jiexi made it out to be. While their playoff spot was secure, their regular season ranking still mattered. A higher position meant a bigger slice of the pie from the league's broadcast rights and sponsorship deals. As for those who make it into the playoffs, they naturally get an extra payout. Additional dividends like playoff broadcast fees that aren't part of the regular season. Advance one more round, and you get another share of the profits. The link between results and profit is already crystal clear. And that's not even mentioning the fame, the attention, and the larger fanbase that top-tier performance brings. These intangible assets, which can translate into even greater profits. Still, Wang Jiexi's explanation was ultimately not inappropriate, and so the matter was quietly put to rest for the night. Just think about last round, when Team Excellent Era inexplicably blundered and threw away a winning game. Then, at the press conference, the new captain Seng Shang kept saying, "I don't know." Then one, "I don't know," followed by another, "I'm not sure," as if venting his frustrations like a petulant child. His way of handling things was far less seasoned and shrewd than Wang Jiexi's.